It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. Welcome to the Dep Lewis Show, episode 19. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Thursday, February 9th, 2023. This is a Thursday episode and a nighttime episode, so you're welcome. No big deal. Just getting it to you early, getting it to you at nighttime. It's going to be a great episode out there, so welcome to the show, the 19th installment of the Dep Lewis Show. We're not following all the protocols around here. I'm sitting in my computer chair, so there could be some noise, but we're going to try to minimize the noise this week. I apologize for being a little bit sick last week with the sniffs and the coughs, but we are going to cut that out for this week. Hopefully going forward, and it's going to be a great show about the video games and tell you about what's going down. There's been a lot going down, as usual, and more than usual, I'd say, for this week. So we're going to have a very interesting midsection this week, so look forward to that. So since this is the Dep Lewis Show, the world-famous Dep Lewis Show, things that are world famous and so popular can, only get bigger, and that's what they got to do. So if you want that to happen, you need to tell people to follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review, turn on notifications, and tell a friend, or tell two friends, or tell someone you don't even like. If you don't like them, tell them to listen to this. They might not like it, you might troll them, or they might like it, and, we'll all be happy. So either way, whatever works. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Anything you want to talk about, anything video game related, anything not video game related, sure, I might check it out. Or just whatever you want to say, DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Any suggestions, feedback, thoughts, video game recommendations, podcast tips, whatever you want to do. Some hot gambling tips for the sports world out there. Not that I can gamble, but, whatever you want to send to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. Buzzsprout page is a great hub. You can listen to the podcast there, or it's a great hub to find the perfect place for you to listen to the Dep Lewis Show. Clips of the show are on YouTube and TikTok, so please check those out. You can see some gameplay footage there, which is very cool. I captured that with an Elgato, a cat. There's a cat that helps me capture this gameplay footage and bring it to your, your eyeballs. So check out those clips. It's a great way to check out some gameplay footage and hear some clips from the podcast. The podcast that you're listening to right now. Alright, so we're going to start with some notes from last show. The notes from last show, I just said I want to plug the Patreon. So there's a Patreon, which is, I'm going to tell you about it. It's just a platform, patreon.com/DepLewisShow. There is a general support tier. If you'd like to support the Dep Lewis Show, you can subscribe for $1 a month. That's just supporting this show that you hear every week. And that is open to the first 100 people can subscribe for $1. So get it while it's hot. Once we hit the 100, you never know what's going to happen. So, your FOMO, hopefully that's going very hard right now. You're going to miss out on everything. So go subscribe to the patreon.com/DepLewisShow. And then also another thing to follow is twitch.tv/DepLewisShow. That is my Twitch channel. You can see me playing some games on there from time to time, so check it out. Turn on your notifications so you can see when I go live, and you can check out me playing some video games. I've been trying to do that a little more often, and I'll possibly do this on some type of schedule at some point. Would be a good idea, probably, so I can advertise that, hey, I'm playing this, I'm going to play at this time of day or whatever it may be. And come check me out, and then come listen to this podcast. That's the main goal. Alright, so this is another thing. I'd like to elicit some crowd feedback out there. So, other sites will show you some gameplay footage and talk about it. Giant Bomb famously has quick looks. I heard, I think it was Danny O'Dwyer was recently trying to decide on a name for his similar type of videos. And I have the same conundrum. What is a good idea for me to call a video of me playing some type of game and talking over it and telling you about it? So, all I've come up with so far is, let's see, this is a really bad one. So, puns, the punnier the better for these video game descriptions. So that could be something. I just think it's going to look like a misspelling for the most part. I don't think people are going to pick up on the dep part in there. But, a video game description could be something. I've also thought of a video game, I thought of demo, but you can't really fit dep with demo. And then my other idea that I have is Dep Lewis Shows Off, and then, insert video game name here. So Dep Lewis Shows Off Dead Space Remake. I don't know if I number these or I just leave it as Dep Lewis Shows Off. I think that's kind of a cool idea because it's a play on the name of the podcast. Get it? Oh my God, it's complicated. But Dep Lewis Shows Off, and then you just put the name of the game. So I don't know, it could just be a formatting thing, but I think this could be a possibility. So if you're pro this or negative this, DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Please let me know. Or if you have any other ideas, I'm very open to it. I just need some type of a name. It'll be like a series of videos. Whenever I want to show off a video game, that's why that might be the right title. But whenever I want to show off a video game and post a little bit of a longer form video on YouTube besides a clip, that's what I'm thinking about doing. So just an idea I'm kicking around. And I wrote last week with Sniffgate. Yeah, I think I've been a little bit sick. I think I'm finally getting over that. So hopefully this podcast audio will be pristine. Hopefully your ears, hopefully this will be just ASMR on deck. Hopefully you'll just be feeling luxurious while listening to this podcast and hearing about these video games. So welcome to the show, episode 19. Welcome, 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 welcome. That's all I gotta say. So for this show today, we're going to talk in the first section about what I've been playing. And then in the mid-section of the show today, we're going to talk about what I've been seeing out there in the world. There was an event on Wednesday that was flush with news, so that's why I'm here early. I have plenty to talk about, and I wanted to bring this news to you, so that's why I'm recording early. So we're going to talk about all that in the midsection, so be prepared. The midsection is going to be dominated by that event that happened on Wednesday. And then we're going to talk about, a lot of news there. Then we're going to talk about a release that comes out tomorrow, so on Friday. And then we're going to talk about a video game that had a patch today. So that was something I noticed today as well. So, and then in the miscellaneous talk section at the end, we're going to talk some sports. Maybe a few sports podcasts that I'll recommend and tell you I've been listening to them a lot recently. And that's what we're doing here today. So episode 19. So let's get this thing started. It's going to be a great episode. Hold on one second. I'm sipping a nice cold beverage over here today. And I'm going to get ready for the show. So what I've been playing this week. All right, the first thing. I have not been playing this game yet this week. But I'm going to be playing it tomorrow. And that's Splatoon 3. The Splatfest starts tomorrow. It's the Chocolate Splatfest, or the Chalky. They kept calling it Chalky in that one press release, which sounded terrible. But I'm trying to mean chocolate. But this is a Splatfest, and it's Friday through Sunday. You can either rep the Dark Chocolate Squad like me. That's who I'm repping, Dark Chocolate Team. That's who we're repping out here, Milk Chocolate or the White Chocolate Squad. And I picked Dark, so if you want to be on the winning team, pick the Dark Chocolate Team. And get into some Splatoon 3. Another note for Splatoon 3 this week, the Chill Season 2022. That's an old year, but we're still in that season. But it's over on February 28, 2023. So get ready to get your ranks up before then, and the season will reset. I'm close to level 15 right now, and that is before playing the Splatfest. So hopefully I'll be up a few ranks after the weekend. But we'll see where I'm going to get to. Only 21 days away, so Chill season's coming fast. I hope everyone will have a great time, including myself, with the Splatfest this weekend. And I just wanted to make sure I highlight that. I was going to talk about that some more if I played, but we are recording early because of all the news in Section 2. So we'll have to get back to some more Splat news next week. So come back to the show next week for some more Splatoon 3 Splatfest coverage. And hopefully we'll be talking about the Dark Chocolate Team's victory. All right. So the main game that I've been playing this week is Fire Emblem Engage. Game of the year so far for 2023 for the Dep Lewis Show. Lear is the main character. I believe that's how you say it. But Vin is the one that I've chosen, the Divine Dragon Vin. The Divine Dragon Vin keeps telling everyone that she is the Divine Dragon upon meeting them still. So she is not bashful or ashamed to be the Divine Dragon who doesn't remember everything. And she'll let you know from the jump, whoever it may be. It could be a good guy, it could be a bad guy. It could be someone trying to stab you in the back, but she'll tell you, hey, I'm the Divine Dragon, the most famous person in history. So it's been really fun, though. This game is awesome. I just completed Chapter 14 of the Battle for Psalm. Let's see, I'm about 16 hours in at this point. This battle had a lot of enemies. The last battle, I think I just played Battle 15, actually. And and Battle 15 had around I think it was 25 moves to complete that battle. So it's been pretty insane. They've been pretty fun. They've been, you have to dedicate some time if you want to complete the whole battle. So I've been making my way through this. This battle had a lot of enemies from all around. I had fun getting the chest on each side. So yeah, it gives you objectives on the map that you can do that are optional. And I've had enough guys where it's been comfortable to go get the objectives, along with making my way to the main area to fight. So it's been really fun. I really like this game. It's still a great podcast game. I've been listening to some of the sound with the game, and it's cool too. The visuals look great. This game runs great on the Switch. So that is a very big positive for anyone talking about the Switch hardware lacking in power. And this is a great looking game. And let's see, I'm on Chapter 15. I believe there's 27 chapters in this game, so I am over halfway at this point. And I really like it. I even like the walking around the Somniel, or however you say that. It's kind of relaxing for some reason. After you have a long battle, you can recover and rejuvenate and resupply and replenish and restock and revitalize all your characters. And you can it's just a nice little break from the action. But when you get into the battle, it's the main thing you're really looking for, and it's just so much fun. And I have a whole bunch of characters in this game I like, and it's a little bit hard to make a decision, but I generally have my top 9 that I'm using. I think it's a lot of times 9 when you go into a match, but it's been really fun, and this makes me want to play. It makes me want to get onto an RPG kick, and it really makes me want to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I just keep thinking about that sometimes while playing this game, and it's just something that I've been thinking about. I don't know why. It might just be kind of the visual style or whatever, but this game's been really fun. Fire Emblem Engage is living up to the hype for me, and I think I'll probably be finishing it. Well, I don't know, finishing it, but I'm breezing through these chapters here at the end. They've been really fun, but I guess they are getting a little bit longer, so who knows? We'll see what else this game has to offer. I'll keep telling people I'm the Divine Dragon, and hopefully I'll keep living, because that's the main objective the whole time. The last mission I just played, Chapter 15, you had to escort this person to escape from this area where it had all these, it's like purple and pink fog, and if you go into there, or if the enemies are in this fog, it makes them like really hard to attack or whatever. So you have to use the character who is stranded on there who can dance, and they would dispel the purple fog mist, and then you could attack accordingly. So that was kind of a cool element to it. And I'm remembering from Three Houses some now too that there are more elements like that on the map that take place. So I'll be getting into some of that, I guess, as I go further, because this game ramps up pretty nicely and pretty gradually for what it's doing. But I am getting a little more late game here, so we're starting to see some more foolery out there. So that's pretty fun, and just really like this game. It's really great. Fire Emblem Engage, I'm having a great time with it, and I think it's firmly planted as the top game for 2023 for the Dep Lewis Show right now. All right, another great game that is definitely on the Game of the Year list for Dep Lewis Show 2023. That's the Dead Space remake, or I guess you should only call this game Dead Space. I think there's a hoopla online about if you can call this a remake or a remaster, or what's the difference between a remaster and a remake, or an HD version. But whatever. This is it's a retooling in whatever way you want to describe it of an old game, with some improvements to it. It seems like they've only made improvements to this, and I am on chapter 3 of this game, so that's just over 3 hours in. There appears to be 12 chapters total in this game, so it looks like this game could be a 12, 14, 15-hour experience, maybe a little bit shorter. And I'm becoming more courageous, so I'm proud of myself for this. I'm loving this game. I'm playing on mute some even, and listening to podcasts while playing this game, as I like to do with a lot of video games. And I just have to make sure I keep turning around. But I think that's a sound strategy in this game regardless, that you need to check your back, because there's probably an enemy back there. So playing without sound dampens the scariness for me a little bit. I could be listening to a podcast talking some shit, and it's just helping out the experience and helping me move forward some. But this excuse me, I'm trying to utilize the cough button this week. But this the whole flow of this game is really fun. I like the enemy. I like the combat is the main highlight, and the whole atmosphere and the objectives are cool and it's fun. And I still like following the line around, and I'm getting more used to the combat and the battle. So I just feel like that's really fun. I'm using the kinesis more to preserve my actual ammo, and the kinesis is actually one of the more effective ways to combat these enemies. So I really like picking up the things that can explode and hitting those dudes in the face. And that's been some of the most fun. And I also utilize the stomp and the stomp and the stomp and the stomp to conserve my ammo. So I'll shoot them down to the ground, get their limbs out, and sometimes I'll go up and start stomping them. So the combat in this game is the highlight. I really like the 0G, and I'm just becoming more of a Dead Space connoisseur here. So Chapter 3, getting through this game, is going to take more of a a main seat once I finish this Fire Emblem Engaging. But Dead Space Remake is right there, and it's so much fun. So really enjoying this game. And I wonder how the sales are doing, and if we're going to see a Dead Space 2 get remade. You never know. But I got to continue playing this game some this week, and I definitely will, along with the Fire Emblem Engage. And then, so that's the main thing I've been playing this week. So, this show is going to be mainly heavy in the mid-section this week. So I've been playing the Fire Emblem Engage. I've been playing the Dead Space Remake. I've actually played a little bit of Vampire Survivors this week. So I was playing with my girl, Pasqualina. So I'm trying to complete some more rooms or whatever, or levels in that game. And, I just started playing some of that more recently again. But those have been the main things that I've been playing this week. And then the Splatfest and Splatoon 3 is primarily what I'm going to be playing this weekend. So I can't wait to get into that for the Dark Chocolate team. So I might be eating some chocolate and playing Splatoon 3. And I think you should as well. So go check that out on Friday. And you'll probably hear me talking about all three of these games next week, and possibly Vampire Survivors as well. I don't think there might be a new game I'm playing. So we'll talk about that some too in the midsection. So that is going to wrap up this first section of the week of what I've been playing. It's going to be a kind of a quick one this week. So, we talked about all the things you should do to support the Dep Lewis Show. And those are all very important for, especially here on episode 19. I could use the support now more than ever. Just keep supporting the show, please, and keep listening. Keep telling people, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep rating, keep commenting, whatever you want to do. DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Please give your feedback there. And so we talked about the Patreon, we talked about the Twitch, we talked about what I've been playing. We talked about some quick look idea form videos, kind of like Giant Bomb, maybe call them Dep Lewis Shows off blank. It's kind of what my idea is. So if you like that idea, let me know. And that's going to wrap up this first section. So we are going to come back for the midsection, which is going to be the main meat, as they say on the Fire Escape podcast. It's going to be the chunk, the bulk. It's going to be the prime. It's going to be the main course. Can't think of any other words, but I'm sure there's tons of other ones to describe it. But it's going to be a great midsection, and we're going to talk about a lot of news that came out this week. So get ready for it. Strap yourself in, put your seatbelt on, put your proper climbing gear on if you're out climbing. Trying to think of safety things. Put a harness on, not still climbing. What else can you do if you're trying to be safe? If you're playing baseball, wear a helmet. But you don't really do that all the time. Wear a cup. Just be careful is all I gotta say out there. So be careful so you can come back and listen to the midsection because you don't want to miss it. So be quick and then come right back. See you in a minute. Welcome back to the midsection of Dep Lewis Show, episode 19. Thank you for rejoining the show. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of good information for you in this midsection, and that is because the Nintendo Direct happened this week. It was Wednesday, February 8th, 2023, and it was a great Direct. I would say it at least gets a 9 out of 10 stars on the Dep Lewis Show scale. So really, really cool Direct. A lot of great games shown. It was about 40 minutes long. I watched MinMax stream this. MinMax streamed it and talked over it, so I watched them, and it was really, really fun. And I'm going to go down the list of all that was announced, and some of these were released actually. So there's a shadow drop here or there, and I'm going to talk about the things that really interested me, and things I might be purchasing, or things that I might just be talking about to you in the future. So we are going to start with Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 got a release date. July 21st, 2023, so check that out over the summer. There's an adorable dog helper in this game, so that is a plus to the Pikmin formula, is having a dog out there. And go check it out. I played some of the Pikmin games in the past and really liked them. Captain Olimar is a really great captain. Coming from a deputy and a Dep, he's a pretty good cap. So Pikmin 4, I could see myself playing this. We'll see. We'll see how the games are going this year and what I've completed and what I've been playing. But Pikmin 4 is something I could be picking up. And I wonder if this game is going to be $59.99. We're going to talk about that a little bit more going forward. But it'll be interesting to see if that game remains $59.99. So we will see. There's an adorable dog helper, so you can probably get any amount of money from me for that one. So pretty early in the show with the Pikmin 4 news. Another thing that was a shadow drop was the Metroid Prime Remastered. A lot of people were hoping the Metroid Prime trilogy was being remastered and going to be released at once, but hey, we got Metroid Prime 1 remastered, and we got it dropped right when it was announced, so I think that's a pretty good concession for that. And it was released on Nintendo Switch digitally February 4th, so yesterday, so you can play this right now if you have $39.99 and you want to spend it on a video game. If you want to spend it on a video game digitally. And then physical copies will be available for this game as well. February 22nd, 2023, so not too far off. I'm sure the box art on that will look really cool because Metroid is amazing looking. And I've been seeing nothing but positive sentiment and response from the announcement of this game and the actual reception of people playing this game. I've seen really positive things out there online about this. They have updated control schemes in this where you can move Samus like normal. You can use the two joysticks like you do in modern gaming. And then a lot of people have been, praising the visuals in this game as well too. So really, really cool. I still have Metroid Dread to complete, but that's more of the side-scrolling adventure besides the 3D adventure. So, I could see myself playing this at some point. So we will see. If I wasn't Fire Embleming right now, if I wasn't Fire Emblem engaging right now, I could be playing this Metroid Prime. But I'm excited that other people are able to, and I'm excited that it's an option that was shadow dropped during the show. So way to go, Nintendo. All right, another thing, this wasn't a full drop, but Octopath Traveler 2, had a demo drop during the show. It's available as of February 8th, 2023, so you can go check that out right now. And it lets players transfer their saves over to the full game if they choose to purchase the full version. I was hearing that this is not very common on Steam, which is kind of funny. If you play a demo on Steam, it doesn't generally let you carry over your save. I might be speaking out of my ass on that, but I heard that on a podcast today. And so this Octopath Traveler 2, the full version, actually releases on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation, I believe, February 24th, 2023 for $59.99. All right, this next game was something that a lot of people were wanting, been wanting for a long time, and some people predicted this before the show, actually, which is cool. And I will probably pronounce this incorrectly, but I think it's Baten Kaitos, or I don't know how to pronounce the first one. Baten Kaitos. But Eternal Wings and the Lost Ocean are getting a remaster, so that's the first and second game in this series. This is a monolith soft RPG, and it's emerging from the fog of 2003 for a much-deserved HD remaster, and it's coming this summer. So this is a HD remaster, whatever that may mean, as opposed to a remaster or a remake, and it has HD in there. So who knows? All we really know is it should be upgraded from some way from the old version, hopefully for the better. This is something I've never played before. I have a friend who was really into this game, and I can see myself trying it out just because it seems really cool. And I don't believe it has a price yet, and we don't have a release date yet. But I think, it says it's coming this summer. So sometime over the summer, this could be a really busy year for video games. So I don't know if I'm going to have time for the Baten. I think it was Baten Kaitos, but maybe I'll be able to pronounce that correct one day. But just really cool, and something that the fan base, the Nintendo people wanted. So really, really nice when that happens. Okay, so what else has happened in this direct? Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online that same day. Shadow dropped to 8/2023, so that was yesterday. All Nintendo Switch Online subscribers will have access to the Game Boy games, while those with the expansion pack will get access to the Game Boy Advance games. So if you have a little bit of extra scratch and you've been spent it on the expansion pack, you can play the Game Boy Advance games as well. And there's a whole litany whole list of great games that are being released for the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. So go check those out. I think I'm a subscriber to the regular Nintendo Switch Online, so I might check out some of these Game Boy games. But I don't generally play these games in these Netflix style catalogs too often, unless it's I don't know, maybe more Game Pass, just because you can kind of try a full price game there, just for your regular subscription. But just don't have all the time in the world to play these games. But it's cool that these are being released on the Switch, so you can play them on the go and play them on your modern console. So I think that's all very cool. But I also hear the people on on podcasts and online argue about the emulation aspect of these games, that you can easily emulate a lot of these games and play them in different ways that are sometimes actually superior, or oftentimes superior. So I think that's something I could see myself getting into at some point. But for now, if I want to play these Game Boy games, I can go play them on Nintendo Switch Online. So that's pretty cool. And a shadow drop of something is always nice. So more props to Nintendo. All right, Professor Layton and the New World of Steam is another game that got announced. It's a new game in the Layton series, where you are a detective, I believe he is. And this release is TBD. So Professor Layton is something I think I own. No, I never played these games. I'm thinking of Ace Attorney, so I could be wrong. Professor Layton is obviously a professor. I don't know why I said he was an attorney. I'm being very, very, very stupid here on the Dep Lewis Show, episode 19. So, my apologies. But the Professor Layton and the New World of Steam look very cool. I've never played a Professor Layton game, but I have some interest in them from the past. And, this one just looks really cool. It has my attention. So I'll be keeping up with this one. And, maybe this will be like a September release for this year. That's a Dep Lewis Show prediction. Because it's a release TBD. Maybe they don't want to, say summer. Maybe that's a little too early. But this could be something that bridges the gap, between the summer and a potential, big fall game for the Nintendo. So maybe we'll see that. All right, another game that got announced that actually has a release date as, a release date of June 2nd, 2023, is We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie. I believe that's the same day as Street Fighter 6, so, tough roll for you there, Katamari. But I think this is a remake of a prior Katamari game, maybe a combination of games, maybe some additional content, but either way, this looked very cool. I played some Katamari in the past, and I think Katamari is pretty universally loved by people who have played it, so this is definitely a cool thing to have on your Switch. And if it has some new content, that'll be extra exciting for Katamari fans, and I can see myself playing this. So I'll be checking for some more information on this before June, and I could possibly be purchasing it, so we will see. But Katamari looks very cool. Another great game that was talked about in the Nintendo Direct. All right, and another thing that I've really been checking for and is the Dead Cells Return to Castlevania DLC, and we got a release date for that, and that is going to be March 6th, 2023 for $9.99. So that's a pretty great price right there. Pretty affordable, pretty economical, pretty nice, pretty generous by Nintendo and the the Dead Cells developers. So $9.99 is all it takes to play the new Castlevania DLC for Dead Cells on March 6, 2023. So I'm going to be shelling out the cash for that. So we'll be talking about that some in March. So I see myself playing this on the Switch because that's where I own Dead Cells. And this is a great game to have portable and be able to take on the go and play in handheld. So can't be more excited for Dead Cells. It's really cool how they've released a lot of DLC for this game. I bought the prior three. I think it's three of them. 3 DLC packs, and I've never really played the DLC. I just picked them up really cheap on a sale at some point. So I think I'll have that content and this Castlevania DLC to check out. So that should be very exciting for the Dead Cells. So shout out to them. So we're going to continue with some more Nintendo Direct news. There's a game coming out, which we got a new gameplay trailer. It's Bayonetta Origins. Let's see. I might be getting this name wrong, but it's Cereza and the Lost Demon. And this will be released on March 17th, 2023 for $59.99. And this is before Bayonetta became Bayonetta. She was a young apprentice witch named Cereza. This new spin-off will let players learn more about Bayonetta's earliest days alongside her infernal demon partner Cheshire. just like that cat from that other story. That damn cat. Players will need to use elemental powers of wood, rock, water, and fire to solve puzzles and complete your quest. So this game looks interesting. I really don't know all the way what to expect from it, but I really like the art style, and I like Bayonetta seems really cool as a character in general, and this being her origin story might be a great way to get into the franchise, since I've never played Bayonetta 1, 2, or 3. So I'll be checking for this possibly March 17th, 2023. So Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon. Go watch that new trailer. It'll give you a really good overview of what of what the game looks like. So it's definitely visually appealing. So go check it out. I just don't know how it's all going to come together really. All right, something I've been checking for and saying I'm going to purchase since I've first seen it is Have a Nice Death, and that is a hand-drawn 2D action roguelike that releases March 22nd, 2023 for $24.99. I don't believe they showed any new footage for this game, but they did show some footage or a short trailer. So we saw some more, just some B-roll of this game, and just as a reminder that you should buy it, and I'm definitely going to as well. So this is a auto purchase, kind of like the Dead Cells DLC. So I'm excited for this Have a Nice Death, and I think you should check it out, especially if you're into roguelike games and side scroller, and has a really cool art style. So go check it out. All right, Advance Wars 1+2 Boot Camp. Finally get some information and a release date. Hopefully it's going to be an official release date. Right now it's official of 4/21/2023, so April. This game, has been delayed over a year now. This game was set to come out last holiday season. I believe that was right at the start of the war between Russia and Ukraine. This game is I don't know if this game has like countries in it or not. I've never really played Advance Wars, but I think they deemed it as a bad look to release the game at that time. And so they probably used that time to hopefully, polish the game up a little bit. And they've deemed it's acceptable to release this game now. And a lot of people thought this game was going to be announced and shadow dropped this week during the direct, but you have to but you have to wait just a little bit longer till April to play this. And I believe it's a full price game, $59.99, but you're getting 2 games, I guess, for the price of one, Advance Wars 1 and 2. So this could be something that I'm checking out because I believe the combat's very similar to Fire Emblem. So this could be something I've just missed from the past and something I could really like. So I'll be checking for this game in April. But obviously we're just talking about a million different games here. So, someone, Nintendo needs to sponsor the Dep Lewis Show and let us get these games for free. I need the unlock or the master key to the online service. That'd be nice. Just let me open the whole store, Nintendo, out there, and let me play these games. And I will talk favorably about them if they're good. If they suck, then I probably won't talk about them. But whatever. I'm just saying, the Dep Lewis Show is the best video game show in the world. So send us some codes, Nintendo. That's my plea right here. All right, so there's some games out there. As I'm coughing, Nintendo, I'm the best spokesman for you. But the Game of the Year for 2022, Splatoon 3. There is an expansion pass that's been announced for that, and it takes the Inklings back to Splatoon 1's Inkopolis. I didn't play too much of Splatoon 1 or 2, so I don't have too much nostalgia for Inkopolis, but you can basically transpose the city area and the hub area to be Inkopolis from the first Splatoon game. So that's very cool as an option. And the Squid Sisters will also be returning for special concerts during the first wave of DLC. And that was reminding me of how much I loved KK Slider and Animal Crossing, and seeing him on Saturdays performing his song. And he gives you a copy of the record to go, and maybe the Squid Sisters will fill that void for me a little bit since I'm not Animal Crossing anymore. But just very cool. And then another DLC drop for the expansion pass will arrive in the future, and is called Side Order. This was actually a very interesting and cool looking part of the trailer here. There were not many there goes the cough mic. Not many details were revealed, but it looks to potentially be a new single player story, which looked really cool. There was it was all white and blotted out scenery, so obviously it looks like you need to to paint the scenery, but in what way? You obviously might need to change color. So it looked like it could have some type of like, chicory. The game from 2 years ago, chicory, you're painting the whole landscape. And this looks like you could be doing something similar as well. So they could be taking a cue from, that was a game of the year for Giant Bomb that year. Taking a cue from a game from a couple years ago and incorporating it into the DLC for Splatoon 3 seems like it could be a good combo. So we will see. But the expansion pass, I haven't really tried out the single player content in Splatoon 3, so I don't know if this expansion pass is something I should immediately jump on, but I am interested in seeing the what the side order DLC part of the DLC ends up being, and that could get me to jump in. And then I would just like the first part is that an added benefit to it, the Squid Sister concerts and the having Inkopolis in there. But I just think it's cool. There's going to be some more Splatoon 3, and hopefully they'll get some people to play it, and hopefully they'll keep some people playing it. Retain some fans, retain some players to keep playing it longer. So Splatoon 3 has an expansion pass coming, so check out for that. Another game that has an expansion pass, and I don't know if this is the first wave, but this will be a wave of this expansion pass, and it'll be available on February 15th, 2023, and that is for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And this adds a new hero and the Archsage's Gauntlet, which offers roguelike challenge battles. So add some more content to a game I want to play, so that's very cool. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is something I might get into after beating Fire Emblem, is what I've been thinking. So I could possibly pick up this expansion pass because it seems cool to buy an expansion pass to an RPG. So this new portion of the pass will be available on the 15th, so check out for that next week. I think it's next Wednesday. Alright, and the last expansion pass, or DLC, to talk about from this Nintendo Direct, which was very heavy with some expansion pass talk at one point, is for Fire Emblem Engage, the game that I'm currently playing and loving. It has a new DLC pack that includes new heroes, so your new emblems you can use, or you can engage with, are Marin, Hector, Soren, Camilla, Chrom, Robin, and Veronica. Furthermore, Wave 4 will feature a new story called Fell Xenologue, so let's see. I could be purchasing this, that's for sure. It just kind of depends on when it gets released. I'm pretty hot and heavy with this game right now. I am a little bit over halfway, so I don't know. It just depends on if I start running through this game again or just move on to other things. So we will see. But I love getting some more content for a game I like, just like I said before, or even the Xenoblade's game I want to play. So just very cool. Just very appreciative of this stuff. And well, I'm talking all nice about it, but one thing I was thinking of while playing this is, these characters could be released in the main game, so they're obviously holding back some content, which is, not the best thing, but it's not like I've been missing out for characters, but that's just more of the negative side of this, of that thought. But, if you want some more characters in this game, I think, the talk about, expansion passes or DLC, if you are only playing, not so many games, it's probably a better idea, but if you're playing a lot of games throughout the year, it might not be the best idea to buy these expansion passes, but you just have to kind of gauge that as you go, is what it seems like. So I'll be checking into some of those at some point and possibly purchasing some of them. And then the star of the show, the star of the Nintendo Direct, the game everyone's been waiting for and everyone's waiting to hear something about, is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. And there was a new gameplay trailer, so go check that out. It is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom combined with Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. It looks like there's some vehicles you can possibly build in this, but there's definitely some vehicles you can ride around in this that look cool. The one in the sky looks like a drone. There's another cool thing on the ground. You got this like corrupted hand. You see Ganon looking all scary. And this releases on May 12th, 2023. This is the first Switch exclusive to retail for $69.99. So that is a change, and I think there's a lot of people upset over that, but you're gonna pay it. You're gonna pay it regardless. So, I just wonder. Some people got to pre-order this game for $59.99. So that's just a win for their books, I believe. But anyone who goes to pre-order this game now has got to shell out the $69.99 to play the new Zelda game. But I'm sure it's going to be worth it. I'm sure it's going to be one of the best games ever. I don't think that's even a bold prediction, but just very exciting. Go check that trailer out. It's very cool looking. Definitely the most exciting part of this show, the most hyped up thing, the coolest thing. And there's if you want to spend some more money, there's a collector's edition that got announced for $129.99 at $130. There's also a new Link amiibo that got announced. So I don't think many people need to be convinced to play The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, but if you want to get hyped for it and see some more information before you play it in May, go check that out right now. So that Nintendo Direct was very, very killer. There was so much good information in it. There's actually more than we just talked about, in the Direct. So go watch it for yourself. You can watch it on Nintendo's YouTube channel. You can watch it on, many people talked over it, like MinMax or Jeff Gersman. So, go check those out. And, just many, many great things. Those are all things I'm interested in that I just talked about, things I could possibly buy, and some I definitely will buy. So we talked about Pikmin 4, Metroid Prime Remastered. Octopath Traveler 2 has a demo out right now, so you can play that. And then, Metroid Prime, I just mentioned that Remastered. Actually, you can go buy that right now. Shadow Drop, Baten Kaitos, however you say that, is coming out over the summer. That's a remaster of the first and second game. Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games are now available on Nintendo Switch Online. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam is coming to Switch sometime, TBD. We Love Katamari Reroll and Royal Reverie, available June 2nd, 2023. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania DLC coming March 6, 2023 for $9.99. Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon comes on the 17th of March, 2023 for $59.99. Looking very cool as Bayonetta's origin story. Have a Nice Death is another game we talked about. March 22nd, 2023. Advance Wars 1+2 Boot Camp release date finally announced 4/21/2023 after that game was delayed for forever. We talked about the expansion passes for Splatoon 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and Fire Emblem Engage. And then we talked about that star of the show, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Go check out that new gameplay trailer and go pre-order that game for $69.99, the first Switch exclusive to retail for that amount. Alright, so that Nintendo Direct was excellent. I gotta say, that was reminiscent of E3 past, lived up to any of their other Directs. I think that was an excellent thing to watch. A lot of fun. A lot of dollar signs I was seeing there that I got to spend, and a lot of hype, and just very, very excited. So just really cool, and shout out to Nintendo for another great Direct, and those are one of the highlights of the video game, viewing of like media stuff. So very, very cool. So we're going to talk about two other quick things here in the midsection. We have a game coming out tomorrow on Friday, February 10th, 2023. Some people have been playing this game already this week because if you bought the deluxe edition, which this is cool. The deluxe edition is only $10 more, I think, and it actually gave you access to the game, 72 hours ahead of time, so 3 days or whatever. Pretty neat. But if I wasn't playing other stuff right now at this point, I would have thought about picking this up. But this game actually releases tomorrow, February 10th, 2023, for $69.99. That's Hogwarts Legacy, the very polarizing game that some people aren't talking about or playing at all, and then some people are loving. So I feel like this game's been getting really good reviews, and I want to play this. I think I'm going to purchase it at some point, just when I can fit it into my video game schedule. But I just wanted to let you know that this game's coming out tomorrow. It looks like it's been getting great reviews as an open world, RPG game. It's got some comparisons to Fable, and I think that's a very good thing. And I'm a Harry Potter fan from way back in the day, so I'm just excited to play this at some point. So check me out there on the Hogwarts Legacy. I hope that's I know it's a very like I said, polarizing thing out there on the internet, but I just want to play a fun game that I like. So that's really about it with this Hogwarts Legacy. So go check that out tomorrow if you want to play. And then one of the greatest games of 2022, Vampire Survivors, had a patch today when I booted it up. So I wanted to tell you about that. It's February 9th, 2023. It's 1.3.0, the Chaotic 1 patch. There's 3 new achievements, 1 new challenge stage, 2 new relics, a new power-up, and something special. And then you can reach level 80 in the inverse Mad Forest, and it's Bat Country, it says. So I thought that's interesting that there's an inverse Mad Forest. That was a little bit of a spoiler to me, but I do not care because Vampire Survivors is fun either way you play it. So I'm going to be playing some more Vampire Survivors, trying to get through those levels with Pascalina, and maybe I'll be checking out some of this stuff in the new patch. So that is going to wrap it up for the midsection here. So we talked about that wonderful Nintendo Direct with all the great new games announced, some of the shadow drops, all those expansion passes, some games to look forward to, and all that great news. We talked about Hogwarts Legacy, which comes out tomorrow on February 10th, so go check out Hogwarts Legacy if you'd like to. And then Vampire Survivors had a patch today, so if you boot up your console, you might notice a patch going, and it's just a quick one. And it's called the Chaotic one to them, so check it out for some more Vampire Survivors content for free, which is, amazing. So thank you, Ponkle. Thank you, Ponsel, however you pronounce your name. Really, really appreciate it. So that is going to wrap up the mid-section of this show, the Nintendo Direct portion of this show, and we're going to come back for one more section to talk some sports. It's going to be the main thing we talk about in the third section, the miscellaneous talk section. So, go check the scores out. Check the scores. Go check your bets. Go. I don't know what else you can do for sports. Go check your fantasy lineups, whatever you may be doing, and come right back to the show for the final section in just a minute. And I'll be right back. See you in a minute. Welcome back to the final section of the Dep Lewis Show, episode 19. This is the miscellaneous talk section, and we're going to talk some sports today. So we're going to start off with some sports pod recommendations that have been especially good recently with all the sports chatter going on, sports news. Go check out the Bill Simmons podcast, or go check out the Mismatch podcast, and then go check out the Locked On Hawks podcast if you want some Atlanta Hawks specific talk. Brad Rowland on there really does a great job, and those other two podcasts are great too. The Mismatch is with Casey and Verno, and then Bill Simmons is the guy named Bill Simmons, and he has some other recurring people on there that are great as well. So I've listened to, he has a multiple part podcast going on today. I listened to the first part earlier for Bill, and I'm going to listen to the rest later. So I just wanted to let you know there's some great podcasts to listen to if you're interested in some sports, like the Dep Lewis Show. So the official, this is Super Bowl week, so, the official NFL team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Carolina Panthers, are not participating, which is very sad, but the Super Bowl is going on, so that's always very fun. So the Chiefs and the Eagles are in the Super Bowl this year. My official Dep Lewis Show pick is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I am hoping for a good game. I don't really care who wins either way, but I think the Chiefs are going to be too strong, and they're going to get the dub. But as far as the official NFL team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Carolina Panthers hired a new defensive coordinator this week. His name is, I'm really going to get his name wrong. It's Ivero from Denver as a new DC. He was born in the UK, but he grew up in California. He's 42 years old. He previously served as an assistant coach for the Broncos, the Rams, the Packers, the Bucks, and the 49ers. He went to college at UC Davis in California. He played 1 year in the NFL for the Raiders. He might have just been on the off-season or practice squad, but he did have 1 year in the league for the Raiders. But he was highly regarded in Denver, and it was a little bit surprising to see the news of him getting signed online. I think people were surprised as well. But hopefully he'll be there for many years to come and can help improve this already really good defense that has a lot of good strong pieces already. So hopefully Ivero will be getting the Panthers to the Super Bowl sometime soon. So I don't have to be picking between the Chiefs and the Eagles. Come on, man, let's get the Panthers in there. So what the best wishes to Mr. Ivero. I also saw today that the Panthers are no longer requiring the services of Ben McAdoo as offensive coordinator. So the search for the offensive coordinator continues, or really begins, which Ben McAdoo had his moments for us, but he never really got together. So I can't say I'm upset about this. And with the new head coach coming to town, you want to let him put his stamp on the team. And I think he's supposed to call the plays anyways, the head coach. So McAdoo was calling the plays last year. So we just really don't have any need for his services, and we'll see. McAdoo's been around the NFL for a long time, so I'm sure he can get another job if he'd like to. So see you later, Mr. McAdoo. But we got Ivero in town. We got Frank Reich, and my other big question is what we're going to do with Shaq Thompson. After the quarterback I know quarterbacks are our biggest question and the most main thing we should focus on, but Shaq Thompson, really hope we can keep him on the team. I know a lot of articles talk about trading him and getting rid of him, but I also saw someone point out that we should, possibly, extend him a couple years and restructure his contract. So I like that idea the best, to keep Shaq around for a more affordable, keep him around longer for a more affordable amount. Sounds really great to me, and I think he's an asset, and I think he gives you back more than what you pay for a lot of times. So I think we should do that. And that would be my recommendation to Mr. Tepper today on this Dep Lewis Show, episode 19. And, besides extending Brian Burns, you should do that. You should have been done that. You should have been done that, you fool. You should have done that 6 months ago. So I'll be interested to be following this Carolina Panthers offseason news, and I will keep you updated as well. All right, so the official NBA team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Atlanta Hawks, had some news today because today was the NBA trade deadline. So that happened at, I think it was 3 p.m. today. And the Hawks right now are currently playing the Suns tonight in Atlanta. The Suns are pretty depleted, but I did see CB3 was playing. And the Suns, just acquired Kevin Durant from the Brooklyn Nets. So the Nets shipped Kyrie to the Mavs, and now they shipped KD to the Suns. Russell Westbrook got traded to the Jazz. And, there's a whole slew. I've said that a few times now, a slew. But there were many other trades that were completed today, so it was a very fun trade deadline to watch. And the Hawks made a few trades today as well. And Saddiq Bey is their new guy they got from the Pistons. I don't know too much about Saddiq, but he is a young guy. I also think Saddiq Bey, isn't that Mos Def's name? That's a correction I want to find for next show. What's Mos Def the rapper? What's his real name? I don't know why I always think it is Saddiq Bey. I thought that from when I hear people talk about this basketball player, but I could be wrong. But Saddiq Bey is a new Hawk. I think he's 6'7", so he's a big wing player. Something the Hawks could use. I think he's I think they said he's a scorer mainly, but we will see. So he's a young guy. I like that about him. And, the Hawks didn't have to give up way too much to get him. So it seems like the Hawks improved their squad. I listened to the Locked on Hawks podcast, and Brad Rowland said, the Hawks are better than they were a couple hours ago. So that is something I can appreciate. And, they're putting, they were favored and supposed to beat the Suns tonight, but it was nice to see them doing that. So hopefully, by the time I finish recording this podcast, I can see the end of the game, and it'll be, an easy win going into the fourth. So we will see. And let's see. Oh, yeah, the Hawks. That was after. So last week, I lost to the Blazers, beat the Suns, beat the Jazz, lost to the Nuggets on Saturday. That was without Trey. And then this week, they played the Pelicans, which, they lost to the Pelicans. Yeah, that was right before the deadline. And then they're home versus the Suns today. So that's what I've been watching a little bit earlier. And the Hawks are home against the Spurs on Saturday. So that should be another win. The Spurs made a trade today. I saw they traded Jakob Poeltl. I forget the who, but he was one of their better players. So the Spurs should be a guaranteed win at this point for the Hawks, especially. And yeah, there were a lot of trades that went down. So go check those out. Go check out the waiver, not the waiver wire, but the sports ticker or whatever. You'll see a lot of trades going down. But Saddiq Bey is a new guy for the Hawks, and John Collins stays on the roster. So I'm very happy about that. I've been last year I didn't want them to trade John Collins. I think the last couple of years they've been trying to trade John Collins, and I keep saying don't do it. So hopefully he'll feel a little more comfortable. He was balling out earlier in the game tonight, and let's see some great things for the Hawks before the All-Star game and then into the second half of the season. All right, the last thing to talk about here is the best sport in the world, Major League Baseball, and the best team in the world, the Atlanta Braves. The official team of the Dep Lewis Show, if you have to pick a team, the Atlanta Braves. Just want to say March 30th, 2023, the season starts. Just want to keep saying that. So we are like 50 days away from that. And I can't be more excited. Ronald Acuna Jr. is playing in the World Baseball Classic. And I hope to get some good highlights from that. Hope to see some good bombs from that. And Max Fried lost his arbitration case. But it doesn't seem like that should be too big of a deal. And he's still getting paid a good amount of money. So hopefully Max is happy. And hopefully the Braves will extend him as my other request. So, if you're listening to the Dep Lewis Show, which I know you are, Mr. Braves owner, and Mr. Alex Anthopoulos, give Max Fried the extendo, and David Tepper give Brian Burns that extendo right now. Don't make me have to say it on episode 20, because I don't want to have to do it. So that is actually going to wrap up the show today, and that's going to wrap up the sports section. So we talked about some great sports podcasts. Go listen to Bill Simmons. Go listen to The Mismatch for some NBA talk, and then go listen to Locked On Hawks podcast for some great Atlanta Hawks talk. And just thank you for listening to the show. I really appreciate you listening to the show amongst all the coughs and the new cough button and all the all the mishaps of the Dep Lewis Show. And just thank you for listening to a night show and listening to an early show on Thursday. And I'm going to take the weekend to play some Splatoon 3 in the Splatfest and play some more Fire Emblem, play some more Dead Space, and hopefully I'll have a whole lot of progress to talk to you about the next time I show up. So just thank you as always for listening to this show. We talked about the games I've been playing, Splatoon 3, Fire Emblem Engage, Dead Space Remake. We talked about the Nintendo Direct, what I've been seeing. We talked about Hogwarts Legacy coming out tomorrow. We talked about Vampire Survivors had a patch today, so go check that out and download it. And we talked about all the sports in the world that are important and all the trades that went down for the NBA trade deadline. And just thank you as always for listening to the show, episode 19. If you could be so kind, follow the Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review, turn on notifications, and tell a friend. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. And clips of the show are on YouTube and TikTok. So just thank you for any and all support that you give to the Dep Lewis Show. And I will certainly be back next week for episode 20. So thank you for listening to episode 19. I appreciate it as always. And I will see you next week.